Welcome back to another episode of Delusions of Automotive Grandeur. In today's episode, the gang talks about the new Ford Bronco, as well as just random off-topic moments. Strap in. It's time for DAG Show.
All right.
I just don't even know what to say anymore.
Welcome back, I think is the appropriate way to start one of these things. Another week of Delusions of Automotive Grandeur.
Yep.
Steven
missed one episode, but we'll get more going. It's all good.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Well, if you guys can't see, it's Charlie, and
Hello.
He now has a shaved head.
No, I mean I would still say buzzed, but yeah, it's pretty short.
I feel strangely left out now looking at the both of you.
I mean, look, you can join the no maintenance hair club. Pretty easy.
You call this maintenance, dude? Like you think I've been taking care of it?
I guess you are the founder of the no maintenance hair club. Currently.
This is what, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I guess all of America already knows this, Charlie. This is what you look like when you don't go get haircuts because of stupid diseases and the fact that you're lazy.
Yeah, that will happen.
Yep.
I'm still very disappointed. I want to confess to all of America and the world who's watching this that I just spent like a minute trying to find a pen to write down something really cool to talk about on the show. And in that period of time, when I finally found the pen, I forgot the thing I was going to write down. So
squirrel brain. It'll happen.
I think I am a squirrel. I've got a bushy tail. Not really. Son of a bitch.
Man. Again, I just have to shake my head every single time.
Yep.
Actually, we needed an SMH like graphic. You can just hit a button and it pops up over my screen.
Every time. Yeah. We'll get right to that. We'll tell our graphics department.
The staff.
Yeah,
we'll get the staff.
Yeah. So since our last talk, do y'all have anything y'all want to talk about? What do we want to talk about? Steven, I think you have a little more. Do you have an update on the Ford Falcon?
I do. But I was actually, that's a good thing we can talk about. Actually, I wanted to start with let's talk about Brent's feelings. Brent, no, I'm kidding. So as people know, there's the shake my head. I made the wise decision of buying another 1965 two-door Ford sedan. It's really intelligent. It's a responsible decision.
The wrong number of cylinders still.
Yep. I want to get. By the way, in World War II tanks, the English would take 5 or 6 inline 6 engines like this one, and they would turn them into a bank of engines where they're going in all different directions.
Have you not seen the Madman taking a tank engine that's an inline 12 and trying to shove it into his Crown Vic? It was a Road and Track article a few weeks back. I'm pretty certain it was the inline 12. But yeah, similar premise. Just
this is what I mean.
Yeah,
it's called a Chrysler multibank.
Yeah,
Brent, are you familiar with this?
No.
Basically, there's a crankshaft in the middle and a whole bunch of inline 6s in a circle around it.
Yeah, it's like the same reason. It's like a bunch of modern car manufacturers had hands in this. Porsche engines have also. There's a plane or two that use the same air-cooled boxer style engine.
It's pretty wild. I mean, I know it there was some tanks in World War II, where the Canadians would put this multi-bank engine in, and the Americans would put in just a big ass V8, or it's just really interesting to think of the speed with which things were engineered to be that flexible and all that stuff. It's amazing. Sometimes you think that, yes, I'm getting back to the Falcon, but sometimes you think that kind of fast ingenuity is sort of where did it go? I just read that one of the vaccines for COVID, which is actually doing very well in its early tests, was already sequenced, manufactured, and in someone's bloodstream by March 12th.
Wow.
That's pretty nuts. You know, I mean, that's usually it's years, you know, and they did it in a month and a half.
You know, as much as we can say about like I don't know where that vaccine trial was occurring. It's not that, you know, there aren't people out there trying, obviously, to solve the current crisis. I know there's one thing I feel like global economies are really good at doing is throwing money at problems.
Especially the chance to, if they get it right, they're the one who's going to get to make 4 billion doses or something, you know?
Right.
Or sell the rights to do it.
Yeah, I know even like there's a whole lot of, my background is obviously in government research. But there was a whole lot of money being pumped in, and like, hey, if there's anything you can think of to like combat COVID, like we're gonna fund it. It was like not by no means a blank check, but
this is the time that you do have blank check. You know, governments, we have this deficit. We're not going to get into this, but government spending is always like, there's a lot of deficit spending and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Absolutely.
This is what you go deficit with. This is where you just blow the money, you know? Like,
yeah, I mean,
anyway.
like, that's part of the reason we live in a, one hopes that is why we have the resources that we have, but that's
Speaking
good.
of resources, if you had limited resources in the mid 1960s, you might have bought the Ford Falcon I just bought, maybe. So anyway, so it's a straight 6. Y'all probably remember from the last one. There is an update. I have to kind of shelter this a little bit, but I'll just like this real fast. That was the title. I don't want anyone to read it, but wait, if I do it like, hold on. Put my hand over
Yeah,
there.
they're gonna scan your title, and then they're gonna steal your identity, and then they're gonna move into your house.
Yep.
But they're gonna pay for my mortgage?
No, you still have to pay for it.
Yeah,
well, my hope is that a time-traveling Cindy Crawford from 1994 is going to do what you just said and take over my house and move in with me. Anyway, so I've got the title, shaking his head, and it's very exciting. Tried to do some research on how to get this in my name and all this stuff, and the DMV is basically taking like appointments, and the Charlottesville's most soon appointment is in September sometime. Oof. Yeah, so I'm going to be there are tiny DMVs out in the country somewhere. I'm going to find one of those and just go do that and get it over with as soon as I can.
Yeah, I was going to say we can talk more offline about.
Okay. Yeah, there was a few that I know.
There's been a bunch of Facebook threads on this locally that I can send your way so that you.
What is Facebook? I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a lot. Oh, go ahead, Charlie. Sorry.
It's a face where we all go to yell at people about masks mostly these days. Wear a mask.
Oh, look at the anger, man.
Look, I go on vacation and all I got to do is sit around and be angry at the internet all day. So this is where I get to vent about it. Brent just laughing.
I think we should pass the talking baton, the baton of talking, to Brent. He looks ready. Brent, what you got?
I have nothing. I'm so busy with work, so yeah.
Oh, he just dropped the work card. He's like, look at me, I'm back to work now.
No, I shake my head way too much now. That's all I can say.
You need a chiropractor.
I do, but everything closed again out here, so
true.
There you go.
Gotta get some really good virtual doctor appointments that'll be like, yeah, you need a realignment. And then you'll be like, great, thank you for all your help. How much will that cost me now?
Yep. And all right.
Did I just share a screen?
You did.
All right, do you see just I think you just see this program, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Is it already full screen?
Close enough.
Is that better somehow?
Yeah, why not?
Whatever.
Okay.
Looks good.
So this is from, let me quickly say, this is from the pictures by Drew Ruiz. This is from a Road and Track article called "These Electric Crate Motors Will Keep Engine Swaps Alive." Are you guys familiar with this? Did you see this article?
Did
I
not,
have,
but I
I have
know
seen
of or have heard of these electric
I mean, this
swaps.
is my understanding from this one, guys, is it's literally fully self-contained. Like there's a battery in that too.
Yeah, it's
So
like, and it's
yeah,
meant to be in the shape of like a small block Chevy, right? Or an LS.
something or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it has a limited range because it's not gonna have a giant battery or anything. But I mean, it is like supposed to be pretty darn bolt-inable. Maybe just a potentiometer to a pedal. What else would you need? Brakes would be independent completely.
I mean, brakes you have to run off when you switch from an engine to an electric motor. You have to actually add
Vacuum.
a vacuum pump to pull to um, for assist.
I was thinking about the Mustang and I was like, power assist for brakes? What is that? I mean, you're right. I forgot about that. But it also needs something to change gears. But it seems like you could just have like, when you buy a fuel injection kit for a car, they give you a tablet, like.
Yeah, I mean, it is awesome. The idea of swapping a motor in, swapping an electric motor in for a internal combustion, especially if like the price is right. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, I think that's the biggest kicker right now. Like, you know,
Prices up
well,
there
what's that?
usually. Said
Yeah,
prices up there usually on anything new per se.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, like the cost of early adoption is going to be very, very real on that. It'd be interesting to hear the numbers. Like,
Yep.
if you tell me, oh, it only costs as much as like an LS crate motor, suddenly I'm interested. Like, like it, but I don't. It'll never, be the same cost as like a junkyard LS motor or whatever. I know that
Yeah.
like the
Yeah, you can get
mythical.
a junkyard Chevy 350 is like $500,
Yeah.
like tops.
What's the
Yep.
has anyone seen the shitty meme going around where it's I swapped the V8 out of the U-Haul for into
Yeah, I've
my
seen that.
got me a new V8 for $40 or whatever, and it's like,
Yep.
no, no, don't do it.
Somebody
Yeah.
will.
Somebody
No price
will.
tag, you
Just
guys.
because they saw that picture.
I
Somebody
mean,
is going to do it.
you know, whatever. If someone's smart enough and quick enough at an engine swap that they can just swoop in and swoop out, that's fine. Whatever. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna argue with that person. I'm gonna just be like, I'm impressed. Um,
Charlie, if when the Falcon is functional and reasonably safe, you're welcome to take it to borrow it and take it out on a date night with your better half, because you can experience the 1950s thing of the bench seat where she can sit like right next to you.
I
You can have the
mean,
arm around her while you're driving.
currently we're gonna set up a projector out back, and I can have my own drive-in theater, so
There you go.
it'll be great.
I thought Alamo should do that.
I heard something about Walmart's are gonna start doing that.
Yeah,
I think I
Walmart's
read
were.
that.
Interesting. Interesting.
Um,
Um, I'll you know what? I'll still have my backyard projector set up,
Yep.
please. Thank you. Um,
God, my brain is not functional, y'all.
Yeah, it's been one of those days.
that's
Dude, it's
right.
becoming like
And especially with, all the car news this week going
Do,
on.
do we want
the
to
car
move?
news we're probably going to talk about at some point. I wrote it down on my list to not forget. I wrote it down as Jeep. That's how messed up my brain is.
There you go. I mean,
Yes. Tell us more about. Well, here,
yeah,
Steven.
tell us more about this new
Tell us
Jeep.
more about the Jeep update.
Oh, I got myself covered. They may do a V8 Jeep.
Oh,
Did you
that's
guys
good.
follow the news?
Nope.
Who cares? It'll be $1 million. Chrysler's lost their mind.
Oh, it'll be like, yeah, it'll be I mean, I've heard they already did what the Hellcat Jeep like for years ago for the Easter
Well, that,
Day. Jeeps
But that was
apart.
just like a taunt you kind of thing.
Sure.
Chrysler tends to do that a lot. They'll come up with cool variants of Jeeps for SEMA or something, and then they never produce them.
I heard you call it Chrysler. I need us all to take a step back and recognize
Fix it again, Tony.
that no. Take it back even further. The new name of Chrysler is Stellantis.
Wait,
Not
is
Chrysler.
it?
It's no longer FSA. It's no longer Group Peugeot, whatever, PSA. It's now the two combined is called Stellantis. May have
Okay.
possible side effects. Please see your doctor for more detail.
Yes.
Sounds like an
what it
artificial
sounds like.
sweetener.
Yeah,
I had
it's
some of that
I mean,
sugar.
yeah, that is that's the name they went with, everybody. I mean, I guess the good news is they're not going to change brand names because, like, God, that would be awful.
I
Just waiting for all the badge swap Stellantises, the Stellantis
But
Wranglers.
you're for real. You're not just messing with me, right? Like
No,
that's
I'm 100. I mean,
that's the new corporate name for Fiat Chrysler.
if I need to share an article with
No,
you,
I believe you. I'm just like, what did I do all week that I missed that one? I think I was
Welcome
too
to 20
focused on the new Jeep.
welcome to 2020. The rules are made up, and the score makes no sense.
So there is a new Jeep. Jeep's like, trying to steal some other company's thunder this week by saying, hey, we're going to actually do a production V8. But the fun thing is what, like a Rubicon Jeep's already like $45,000-$50,000 or something. And you're going to throw a V8 on it and it's Chrysler. It'll be like $65,000-$70,000. And at that point, I'm like, I'm getting a tri-motor Tesla and a 1994 right-hand drive Mini. Drop the mic, walk off the stage. But apparently, Brent, what did Ford do this week?
I don't know. They released some new vehicle or something coming out next year, I guess. I don't know.
Crossover.
Yeah,
I think
something that's supposed to be resemblance of a Jeep, but
it's a hearse.
not.
It's a hearse, right?
Yeah. No.
What if they did
No.
bring back Hearst? Shit, that
They
would be awesome.
should. They really should.
Oh, it was a helicopter.
Oh.
Ford helicopter. That's what it was.
Yeah. And they called
So
it the Bronco or something? Yeah, it
it's
was the
some horse
Bronco.
car. It's a horse
Yeah.
car.
Who names cars after horses nowadays, anyways?
Horses. Like,
What they said, what they described in the advertising is it's the new Bronco. It's supposed to be like an F-150 with like the soul of a Mustang. The sad thing is that worked on me because I want one.
I mean, I will say, it looks cool. It, like, of all, it's one of those things of like, if they get it, if that is the production we're gonna see, like that is final form production, cool. That'll be cool to see around. It will be really cool to see them in parking lots at malls.
On the
It
curbs.
really will be. Yep.
I want to see if they have the Jeep thing, where they're just like, I'm just going to park on the curbs.
Yeah.
Or, the ones that park in the snowbanks and stuff. Oh, wait, you guys don't know snow, so.
Well, if I take this job.
Well, yeah. You'll if you take that job, you'll understand.
That's why I'm going to have to buy a Bronco a little sooner if I take that job.
Yeah.
They told me I'd
I
have
don't
a
know.
staff.
I like the look of it. I think it looks a lot better than the Jeep.
$30,000 with Destination V for the base model, and that has an 8-inch screen with Sync 4, and it's got Steelies, which I bleeping love. My take on the whole thing is anything that pushes Jeep to do better and maybe work on some of their pricing and stuff like that is great. Because I don't see this as, I see it as like a Mustang Camaro thing where neither one's going to put the other out of business, and it'll only make each of them better. I think that
let's be real. This was the better Bronco, though.
Oh my God! Look at the side of it. It's like a Bronco crashed into the side and left a mark.
Look at those panels. Look at those. Those are made so you don't get door dings. It's brilliant. It's better.
It's like a Saturn. Saturn used to have plastic doors.
Yeah, you could dent them. It's great. You just heat them up and they pop the dent out.
Oh, it's glorious. But I think they did all right. I think that the idea of the doors being easy to remove, that's cool because they're always a pain on a Jeep. The fact that they're stowable in the vehicle and little slots in the trunk, that's cool. A hard top comes standard on it on a Jeep. You start with a soft top.
So do you have to crash test in all those like different configurations with the doors off?
I don't know, but Ford could swing it. They know they're going to sell 1 billion of these things.
That's true. That was an interesting thought that popped in my brain.
And and some of the R&D on this car was probably pretty darn cheap because they're recycling the bigger engine is from the F-150, the 10-speed automatics from every car on Earth for Chevy and Ford, and the manual is custom, but the frame and substructures and stuff are all Ranger. I mean, you saw some of the prototype cars, which is these hilarious chopped Rangers. They were like real short. They actually looked kind of funny, but I think look, take it or leave it, but one of the things that really impressed me was one of the interviews with one of the Icon, I think it's like the Icon Project Division or something of Ford. And when asked, why did you do a 2-door and why did you in particular, it was about a 2-door, but he also said this about the manual. He's like, because that's what you do. Like, every time someone does this, the bean counters get in there and say, no, you're going to sell 5 of them and it costs a fortune to have it. But this product lead developer guy's like, no, we're doing it. If we're doing this, there will be a 2-door. Yeah. And he just made it happen. And I'm hoping that they're rewarded with people actually buying it.
I think they
hope so.
I mean, people still buy the 2-door Jeep right now, so
yeah. A lot.
Why wouldn't there be a market for it?
Yeah.
It's going to take that market away from Jeep and bring it towards them.
And I think that the crazy leap on this, because the rest of it's really just printing money, right? Like for Ford, it's going to do fine. The pricing's decent and everything. But like I think the leap was not just doing a manual, but doing a custom 7-speed. I mean, that's pretty weird.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I want it. But I mean, it's probably I wouldn't buy it if it was an automatic. But that's pretty weird. Do you think it'll end up back in, they'll reverse put it back in the Ranger or something? Is this a rebirth of that in a way? I mean,
a manual in the Ranger?
In the Ranger, yeah.
I don't think so.
I doubt they'll do it from factory just because like no one gives a shit about a manual Ranger.
I mean, it'd probably be an easy swap to do.
Yeah.
Come 2021, you know what I mean? That will be probably an easy swap to do, but I don't see it coming from factory. At this point, I don't see any trucks.
Yeah.
Manual anymore.
Yeah. And that was exactly what I was about to say was it will probably never go to a truck from factory, but Brent, I agree 100%. Someone will figure out, I can take, I can play some parts number, switcheroos here and figure out, it takes 3 lines of coding to change the automatic transmission sensors.
I could even see just swapping out the ECU with the with the two.
I'm sure someone
or even if they use like on the older Subarus, and probably still to this day, all you had to do is like jump a pin to make it from an automatic to a manual.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can use the same ECU.
So. Exactly. Someone will figure it out. Like I know Volkswagens get a little funny about it because everything's networked in German. But yeah, where there's a will, there, 5 years ago, people said, "Oh, there'll never be a, manual swap from a automatic Volkswagen, whatever," and they were like, "Oh, because the CAN bus," and within like 2 years, someone did it, and I was like, give it 2 years. It's one of those things like if there's enough time and enough money thrown at it, someone's gonna figure it out. Like that's the reality.
Talking about like trucks and manuals, like, I wonder too, and I'm going to get off this whole manual automatic thing so we talk about it too much, or I talk about it too much, but like the one thing that would be a lot of fun would be, I hate the crew cab version. I don't understand crew cabs, but a Ford Raptor with the Tremec 6-speed from the GT350, that would be awesome. Just jumping things at 60 miles an hour. I've never done that in a car. It'd be
It's like
so
what
terrifying.
I mean, at that point, if you're already doing a full manual swap, I feel like you're just a step shy of going to like a full race clutch, race transmission type
Like
setup.
sequential something, or
I mean and that's already out there. Like someone's, I know a Raptor's not the ideal choice for that because at that point you're also so big and so bulky, you're not even good for like Baja recommendations. But I don't know, someone's probably done it.
so a piece of tech from the Bronco that, forget that it's on the Bronco. I just want to talk about the tech of it. But did you guys read about the a lot of cars have like the electromagnetic shocks and everything.
Yeah.
I guess this is not new at all. But there's something about these where I think that they, depending on like the attitude of the car, I don't know if you can see my hand, but the attitude of the car as you're going over rocks and things, it will like detect that and like firm up things. And so it's sort of like, the premise behind Ferraris having different modes and everything like that, but it's meant for off-road stability, slow speeds and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool.
Cool. Yeah. You're talking about an adjustable damping based on conditions.
It's real time. You're not doing anything. It's all the computer doing it.
Right.
Stuff.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. Just trick suspension stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So Brent, what you got?
After.
Steven, it's been 8 minutes of you talking about Fords again, and no, I don't have anything to talk about still.
Still nothing. I already put my piece about the Bronco in.
Look, Brent, let me just tell you, that is a fine thermostat. I'm glad that your thermostat is featured so prominently in your camera angle. Look at that thing. Wow. And that's a California thermostat, so it's actually made out of tofu and legal pot.
Piece of crap. That's what it is.
Shit. Charlie, what's up with the GTI? Does it still work?
GTI is still working.
Let's see. Bitchin'.
Yeah. It's hot though. Heat soak. It's also sitting a bunch this week because I have not been driving it because I'm not working this week because I took a vacation. Instead, I'm working on finishing up projects that I've been meaning to get around to and I just haven't. Primarily, I bought a Alcantara skin cover for the center armrest. So I was working on rewrapping that.
Is that like a 3M adhesive situation?
Yeah. So it's the cover itself is like an actual, proper Alcantara with the red stitching to match the rest of the interior. And then you are basically, spray adhesive, like headliner, basically, over top the old one, tuck the sides under, snip it down to size, spray more adhesive to, basically pull everything in tight and clamp it and finish it. So,
is that where I've used the 3M adhesive? We're talking about like the air, just so everyone knows, we're talking about like the aerosol stuff. It looks kind of stringy and stuff.
Yep.
Like, is my understanding correct that like if you're bonding two surfaces with that, I did this with a guitar amp with vinyl before, that you basically like connect it and reconnect it like a few times and let it sort of tack up before you do the final push?
Yeah, you can totally do that.
Okay.
I mean, you can also just let it sit like 30 seconds and that tends to do it.
Are you planning on doing a vinyl roof on the Mustang?
No, Alcantara. Okay. No, I'm gonna do actual leather on the exterior of the car.
We're gonna just do a proper tonneau cover over the top
with a little hearse like chrome S thing on this.
Yeah, or a Landau.
Yeah, Landau. That's right. No, I was gonna ask too, but like when you're doing the Alcantara overlay thing, I think my absolute terror in a project like that would be handling that kind of adhesive and not getting it on the top where it matters, because I imagine that does not come out of Alcantara, does it?
I mean, I have a good selection of fun chemicals that
that's true,
that I can typically use to clean it up pretty well. I mean, and the worst case is I wreck it and I just get a leather one. Like I'm not. It's 5 years old. I don't give a shit.
But you get hand-me-downs, by the way, sell them to GTI Ben Kenobi.
No.
I've got this Alcantara for you, Ben.
It's only been used once. It's been handled slightly. No, it is nerve-wracking. What I find the trick to that is touch it as little as possible. I think most people will say, like, the more times you're having to like touch and move it, the more chances you have at putting glue on something you don't want to. So like at some point I had to just like accept where it was and be like, that's it, walk away.
Walk away.
Yeah, you just walk away, let it dry, and then come back, and if you did it right, it looks fine and not really all that different than a non-stock one, which kind of the goals.
Brent,
What's
you
up,
look
dog?
different.
No.
Brent, you know how we have that really subtle methodology to try to communicate to each other if we're running long or anything, and we use like text messages and stuff.
This might be it.
I was about to say that.
So everyone, this is Walter. He just wanted to say hi to everybody. Now he's gone.
Walter.
It's like a subtle signal, Charlie. What do you think? Oh wait, there's a thing down there. Okay. Sorry, I have my camera in front of me, so when I look at the camera, it looks like I'm looking and talking to y'all instead of the thing where I'm always like off a little, And so it's blocking any text chats y'all have been sending to me. This is a professional thing.
You got it.
You're very professional. We've got a crew of 50 that is recording this and getting everything ready. So
yeah, we got a whole lot of direction on what to talk about and who to talk about.
We prepare ahead of time, it's like writing the word Jeep instead of Bronco. I also want to say that that giant staff we have. We also have the people that prepare the studios that we're recording in. Keep them professional and nothing like, for instance, like that empty beer bottle still being here from 3 weeks ago. One of us does not have a significant other right now. I wonder if the people in the audience can guess which one it is. Although my cousin's visiting this weekend, we're going to attempt to set the timing on the Mustang, which is now completely different because it doesn't have horrendous vacuum leaks everywhere within the intake manifold. So everything's messed up with the timing now.
So you're going to now put big cams on it too, right? While you're in there.
Overhead cams. I'm going to glue them to the outside of the valve covers.
Good.
But I should totally do that. But so he's bringing his wife, Caitlin, who's awesome, down. But the downside of that is, that means I have to clean my house to a girl is coming to visit level, instead of just Joe. Joe's a professional mechanic. I'd be like, if Joe was just coming down, I just have to straighten out the garage and make it look cool. Now I got to do that and the house.
Yep.
I got to clean the bathrooms.
The nice thing is you have the opportunity to get it to a very nice shape and then keep it there, which is overall less work if you keep it up.
No, I think you're right. I think the realistic thing is that's not going to happen, but I do get to enjoy a very clean house for at least 3 to 5 days.
How long are they staying?
2 days.
2 days. Yeah, I'd give it 2.5.
There'll be this little tapering of bachelorness returning. I guess it's an upward curve.
Yep. All right. I guess that's the end of this episode.
That's all we got.
A random.
Brent, thank you for your contributions this time.
Just a random. I don't even know at this point. So yeah, thanks for joining along, and I guess if you like it, just like follow along with us on this path of
nonsense,
righteousness,
and nonsense, and bugs flying into my eye. It's fun. All
California has bugs.
right.
Dude, it's organic. Just eat it.
If you enjoyed DAG Show, please like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. We are also available on iTunes and Spotify by searching for Delusions of Automotive Grandeur. Thanks again for tuning in, and as always, may the grandeur of your automobiles be delusional.